Hey there, I'm John.
And I'm Josh.
And we are talking about the 2021 college football season. We're up to week 3 already.
Let's do it.
So let's talk about what's going to happen this week. The first game, Alabama off a tough game against the Mercer Bears.
And Florida off a probably just about as tough game against South Florida.
Yeah, true. So you got number 1 versus number 11 at Florida, so it's in Gainesville.
Yeah. Big game.
What are you
Big game for
expecting
the
here?
SEC. I expect it to be close in the first half, and I think Alabama wins by 17 to 21 points.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we'll see what ends up happening. You could tell both teams were looking towards this week in both of their games.
I definitely think so.
But at the same time, the teams they're going against are so bad, I don't think it was even a problem for them to do that.
Yeah.
So interested to see what happens, right? And it's going to be a big deal to me because I think, obviously, Miami's extremely overrated. So I just think that win for Alabama should be voided as a big win. So really, both of these teams are coming into this game with little to no big wins in my mind.
True.
So this is the first time you're seeing two powerhouses for both of these teams.
Facing
So we'll see
each
what
other
happens.
and see what happens, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have number 22 Auburn at number 10 Penn State. This one, in my mind, is a huge one for Harsin.
So here's what I have to say. And maybe now that he has 5-star talent and everything like that, but from my experience, Harsin does not win big games.
Okay.
He does not win big games.
This is a big one.
He does well throughout all the season. He's a 9-3, 8-4 type of guy with an occasional 10-2 season. But maybe he's going to change things around. Maybe this is it. Maybe Auburn is just the dream scenario for him and all his coaching expertise. And it really does seem like Bo Nix under him is a more poised quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
More poised quarterback, yeah.
Which is not a surprise.
No, because that's what he did best,
Yeah.
quarterbacks. So, all in all, not sure what's going to happen. I really don't know which team's going to go, but if Auburn doesn't get ahead early, I don't think they win this game.
Okay, good word. All right, then you have on the blue field, Oklahoma State. It's going to be visiting Boise State.
Yeah.
Always
Always a big deal when
Oklahoma State had a pretty disappointing
Yeah, they
week
did.
the week before.
always a big deal when a Power 5 team comes to Boise.
Yeah.
So you know that they're super excited about that. Already almost sold out a week before. Hopefully it's going to be a completely full crowd. But I would be pretty disappointed after watching Oklahoma State's performance last week against Tulsa if Boise didn't win, which concerns me, right?
Yeah.
I know Oklahoma State's still favored by like 6.5 or so points, but I do think Boise State, I think Oklahoma State is not as good as UCF, first off. I think UCF's definitely a better team than Oklahoma State. And so I think as long as Boise has figured out maybe a little bit more of the running game, we kind of got it going towards the end of the UTEP game. And as long as they protect Bachmeier, right? We seem to be a hungry defense as far as turnovers go, killing it in that department. So I think as long as the offense can keep the ball, protect Bachmeier, and just run a little bit more, we have a chance in this game.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have Purdue. They're going to be at number 12, Notre Dame. This is an interesting game to mention.
See, at this point, it's almost worth mentioning Notre Dame every week, right? Even if they keep winning, it's almost like, what's going to happen?
You're not sure because, their wins are not impressive so far, even though they're undefeated. And so, so here you go. Purdue, Boilermakers, they've been known for some big games in clutch spots along the way.
Yeah, the highlight for Notre Dame was their quarterback's tough. Apparently, he dislocated his finger last week and was able to knock it back in and throw the winning touchdown. So, tough guy. But, I'm still going to say Notre Dame wins, and I'm going to say they should win by a lot. Who knows if they will or not, but they definitely should.
They should.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely should. South Carolina got the Gamecocks. They're going to be at number 2, Georgia. You would think that this is a game that we shouldn't mention, and that's because we really shouldn't.
Yeah, no, I genuinely think Georgia wins by 35 plus points, right?
I think they're going to destroy them. South Carolina struggled against East Carolina last week, barely pulled that game out. Their defense is just stomping it right now.
Can South Carolina score more than 7 points? It's the question of the day. Like, eventually, I figure Georgia's defense has to have more than one slip up, right? So far, 2 games in a row, they've had one slip up.
Yeah.
That's it. One touchdown allowed, both games.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
If
they keep this up, I'm telling you, Georgia looks scary.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I'm going to
defense
watch this game just to
actually
see.
Pretty good.
South Carolina is still SEC talent, right? They still got some big boys, so curious to see what happens there.
I'm curious too. Number 19, Arizona State is going to be at number 23, BYU. You were considering this as an upset.
I was, and then we
Though
talked.
they're so close
pretty
together
close
in ranking.
So all in all, Yes, Arizona State's favored, but barely.
Barely.
I do think BYU wins this game. Home field advantage for BYU is huge. Mm-hmm. They have probably some of the best turnouts of any college football team out there. Man, their fans absolutely adore them. Yeah. So like, whenever they're at home, you know it's going to be a full-out crowd. Arizona State,
they'll show up for this one.
Yeah, I haven't paid too much attention to Arizona State, right? So maybe they'll come in and surprise me. I don't think they played anybody super tough. I know they played like New Mexico last week, not tough. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was UNLV. They played UNLV last week.
This will be a real test for them.
Yeah, it really will. Both teams. Honestly,
they're
both
legit.
Teams,
yeah, that's right.
Again, I'm just convinced that this year BYU is an extremely legit team based off just what I've watched and stuff, because they seem to have a defense, and the offense, as far as running back and quarterback duo go, is something to at least entertain yourself with by watching. Granted, it's always so late that no one ever can watch those games anyways in the Central Time or Eastern Time.
Okay, then you have Tulane, the Green Wave that wears blue uniforms, and they're going to be at number 17, Ole Miss.
A couple of reasons I wanted to talk about this game. Right. One, I just wanted to give Tulane a shout out. I mean, Oklahoma was supposed to go to their house. They had to leave because of the hurricane. Yeah. This previous game, they played in Birmingham because they couldn't go home yet, right?
That's right.
So this team is, they're all over the place. They haven't been able to go back to the practice. It's just crazy for them to be in the positions that they are. So I'm a big Tulane fan in heart right now. I just love to see the grit and the toughness of this team and everything that they're doing. They put up a fight against Oklahoma, right? And we all remember that game. Crazy close game.
Yeah.
So I just think Ole Miss needs to be careful. Mm-hmm. You better watch out. These guys are clearly, they've got some feist. They've got some fire in their hearts. They're wanting to play some football. So Ole Miss, just watch out.
Big games.
Right? Yeah, they really
starting
are.
Out their season.
Just watch out for that game. Yeah. And Tulane, I'm rooting for you, but I do think Ole Miss wins, unfortunately.
Okay, you had a really good reason here to talk about this game.
I did.
How about this next one? Nebraska at Oklahoma. Why do we want to talk about Nebraska?
Constantly optimistic that Frost is going to be turning things around, right? Constantly optimistic. Yes, they lost to Illinois, right? But it's okay. You still you win this game, you got your job for another season.
Oh, done. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking, right? And Rattler, look, all you got to do is hit him a couple times, man. The kid,
you rattle Rattler.
Yeah, rattle Rattler. I'm sure we'll hear that if he ever gets sacked. But just get something going. I know Oklahoma's number 3. But I just need them to lose so I don't have to watch them in the playoffs and watch them get absolutely demolished again. So pretty much every week I'm rooting against Oklahoma because it's just the same trend every year of them making it and losing by 40. So I'm just like, please, Nebraska, come on.
Come on, Huskers.
You knock them out, we won't hear about them again for the year.
Okay, upsets. Let's talk about your upsets.
All right, 1 and 3.
You had a good run last week.
Yeah. So let's start with less confidence.
Okay,
right?
less confidence.
I think Fresno State is a good football team. They competed against Oregon. 7 points. Same amount of points as Oregon beat Ohio State by, right?
That's impressive at this point.
At the same time, I do think UCLA is better than they have been. Right?
I would definitely agree with that.
I don't know if I would rank them at 13th. I don't know if I would rank them that high. I think beating LSU, everyone's like, oh my, but it's LSU.
They're
done,
they
right?
don't look very good.
They haven't had a good season. They won't have a good season now that Joe Burrow's gone.
Yeah.
So I do think Fresno State has a chance. I'm very optimistic, or not optimistic about this one. But Fresno State.
You think they could
just watch the game, see what happens. Fresno State could win this.
Okay.
Now this game, I don't even understand how Miami is favored. I know this is 2 weeks in a row that I'm going against Miami.
Or how they're still ranked.
Honestly. I think Michigan State beats Miami by 21 points. I really do. I've watched Michigan State play. They solid defense, and it seems like their running back can. They do that similar Wisconsin Penn State smash mouth style football. Miami, I've watched both of their games this season, and there's not been one thing that I've been impressed with. The Eric King, not impressed. Defense, not impressed. Turnover chain, not cool. Everything that they do, it's just not great. So honestly, anytime I'm going against rooting against Miami or thinking that they're going to lose, I think I have a pretty good chance with it. And Michigan State's going to show everybody that.
You don't think the U's back, or is it just this?
Yeah, nope. Yet another team that's just not back.
Okay, so those are your upsets. That's our week 3 predictions. So join us when we do the review for this.
Go Broncos.